Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all that noise and get straight to the insights that really matter. You can barely scroll through a news feed these days or pick up a tech mag without seeing AR or VR. It just seems to be everywhere. New gadgets, futuristic concepts. But what does it all actually mean, for our near future? Not just for us as consumers, but for businesses, for education, maybe even how we interact with the world. So, okay, let's try and peel back the layers on this one. Today, we're doing a deep dive into augmented reality and virtual reality, thinking about 2025 and what comes next. Our mission really is to get past all the buzzwords and pull out the most important bits of knowledge from the sources we've looked at, give you a clearer picture of where these technologies are actually heading.
Yeah, and I think what's critical right from the start um, is just how fast this stuff is moving.
Hmm.
From being maybe a novelty or for niche applications to becoming genuinely mainstream tools. We're going to try and help you connect the dots on what this big shifts means for you, whether you're just, curious or maybe you're actively looking for ways to use these changes in your own work.
And when we say mainstream, wow, we're talking about a huge wave of growth, aren't we?
Oh, definitely.
Our sources show the global market, AR and VR combined, was maybe around $30 billion back in 2022. But here's the kicker. By 2031, that number, it's projected to explode. We're
Oh,
talking over $520 billion.
wow.
That's more than just growth, right?
Right.
Massive. Doesn't that suggest something really fundamental is changing? Maybe more than just a trend?
It absolutely does. I mean, that kind of exponential growth, it isn't just about selling more headsets. It really tells us we're looking at a foundational shift,
Hmm.
a shift in how humans and computers interact. It challenges, our current ideas of reality, of work. These aren't just new features. They're potentially entirely new platforms for experience. Think about it, a 17-fold jump in less than 10 years.
Hmm.
That points to really deep integration across pretty much every part of our digital and physical lives.
Right. And most of you listening are probably, familiar with AR or VR on some level already. Maybe you chased creatures in Pokemon Go years back, or perhaps you've seen all the buzz around things like the Apple Vision Pro recently.
Mhm.
Those examples definitely brought the ideas into the mainstream consciousness. But what's really next? How are they evolving beyond gaming into practical, real world solutions? That's exactly what we want to unravel today.
Okay, so let's pivot now to the engines of this growth. What's actually driving it? Our sources point to five key areas, five trends
Yeah.
that seem really interconnected. They're propelling AR and VR forward and creating this massive market expansion we just talked about. These aren't just happening in isolation, are they? They seem to be working together.
Exactly. And that's the bigger picture here. It's not just one thing progressing. It's this synergy between them that really unlocks the potential across so many different areas. Each trend kind of amplifies the others. It creates a much more powerful ecosystem than, any single development could achieve on its own. It's that compounding effect that's really compelling.
Okay, trend number one, AI integration. This smart layer, as some call it. So AI is obviously making things faster, improving rendering, tracking, but it seems like it's doing more than just that, right? It's changing the experience itself. Oh, absolutely. The crucial insight here isn't just better graphics, though that's part of it. It's that AI transforms these virtual or augmented environments into something, well, intelligent.
Yeah.
They don't just display stuff. They learn from how you interact, maybe anticipate what you need, and reshape the experience in real time. It makes it hyper-personal, almost predictive.
Like, give me an example.
Well, think about medical students. They could practice really complex surgeries in these hyper-realistic simulations
Mhm.
that actually adapt if they make a mistake. Or maybe learning environments that genuinely understand and respond to how well a student is doing personally. It takes us, light years beyond just pre-scripted scenarios. It's dynamic.
Okay, that makes sense. Dynamic and personalized. All right, moving on then. Trend two, the rise of AR avatars and these virtual beings, digital companions. Our sources had some pretty wild market figures here.
They did, yeah. Just the U.S. digital avatar market accounted for over 82% of the revenue share in 2023. That's huge. And these aren't just, little cartoon characters anymore. They're becoming quite sophisticated digital companions. They're bridging that gap between the physical world and the digital one.
How so?
Well, imagine a retailer using virtual assistant that, like, pops up in your living room through your AR glasses,
Yeah.
and it gives you personalized recommendations based on your actual surroundings.
Whoa.
Or think about social media users having these custom digital versions of themselves that interact with others in these blended reality spaces.
So it's making digital interactions feel less like looking at a screen and more like like there's a presence there.
Exactly.
That really does sound like a potential game changer for customer experience,
Yeah.
way beyond chatbots.
Precisely. It boosts user satisfaction, and for businesses, it's more effective because the interaction feels more natural, more intuitive. It's about building connection, making that digital assistant feel less like just a tool and more like an engaging, personalized guide.
Interesting. Okay, third trend, 5G, speeding up reality. We hear a lot about 5G, but specifically for AR/VR, it's about maximizing throughput and minimizing latency, right? Especially using this thing called split rendering.
Yeah, split rendering is key. That's where the heavy lifting, the complex graphics processing happens in the cloud or at the edge, and it's streamed almost instantly back to your device. 5G makes that smooth and fast.
And the real-world examples our sources mentioned were pretty compelling. What stood out?
Well, the ability to make these experiences truly real-time is transformative.
Yeah.
Picture, say, a field technician getting real-time customer service where digital info is overlaid instantly onto the equipment they're looking at.
Right.
Or product demos where you can interact with a virtual model instantly, like it's right there. It's also huge for education. Live medical procedure teaching with immediate high-fidelity feedback. Or engineers in different cities collaborating seamlessly on a complex 3D design with zero lag.
That real-time piece sounds absolutely crucial. It sort of makes those futuristic scenarios actually practical now, overcoming the lag that plagued the early days.
Absolutely critical, yeah. For professional uses, that instant feedback and high fidelity, they're non-negotiable. 5G lets all that complex data get processed elsewhere and streamed back almost instantaneously, essential for anything requiring precision or immediate response.
Okay, got it. So fourth trend, WebAR and cross-platform applications. Accessibility. This means you can get these AR experiences right through your web browser. No need to download a specific app first.
Exactly. And that sounds simple, but for the average person, removing that go find and download the app step,
Mm-hmm.
how significant is that?
Oh, it's huge. It's a critical step towards mass adoption, really. One of the biggest hurdles, the friction points for many people, has just been downloading apps, worrying about compatibility. WebAR gets rid of that. It massively broadens the potential audience and lets companies deploy AR much more easily. Think marketing campaigns, product instructions.
So it just lowers the bar for entry for everyone, makes
Yep.
it easier to try out. Precisely. Much less friction.
All right, and the fifth key trend, wearable AR/VR devices. The personal gateway. We're seeing AR/VR tech getting baked into more wearables, smart glasses, headsets, becoming more common. Though we have heard those initial consumer complaints, like about the comfort of the Apple Vision Pro, which maybe suggests this area is still pretty young.
It definitely is still young, yeah. But those complaints aren't a reason to dismiss it. Not at all. That discomfort just highlights that there's still a lot of room for innovation, for improvement. And the focus on comfort, on ergonomics, isn't just about, a nice user experience. It's really about enabling prolonged productive use, especially in professional settings.
Ah, right.
For businesses to really adopt this, people need to be able to wear these devices for hours, potentially, without fatigue. So the innovation in making them smaller, lighter, more comfortable,
Mhm.
that's essential for them to become real tools, not just occasional gadgets.
Okay, so those are the five big trends driving things: AI, avatars, 5G, WebAR, and better wearables. Now let's zoom in a bit. What does this all mean specifically for the workplace? Our sources are pretty clear that VR is moving rapidly beyond just being a novelty or for games into serious business applications. Companies are really starting to rely on it.
Yeah, the growth numbers back that up. That projection we mentioned earlier, the VR market, hitting $123 billion by 2032, a huge chunk of that is expected to come from enterprise adoption, businesses using it.
But I've heard skeptics say, these projections often get ahead of actual real-world adoption. Is there a good counter-argument from our sources on why this time might be different for enterprise VR?
That's a fair challenge.
Mm.
But I think the strategic insight here is that the projections specifically call out enterprise adoption as a main driver. It's not just based on consumer hype. Businesses are genuinely embracing VR now because they're seeing a clear return on investment for things like enhanced training, better hybrid collaboration, streamlining product development, innovative customer support. The investment makes sense because of productivity gains or cost savings. So that adoption curve for businesses seems much steeper this time around compared to previous tech cycles.
Okay, that's a key point. ROI driving business adoption. Let's break down the areas making this workplace revolution happen. First, Hardware advancements specifically for professionals, we're seeing incredible stuff like the Apple Vision Pro with its tracking and visual fidelity, others like Pimax pushing for retina-level displays, and standalone headsets getting more powerful thanks to chips from, say, Qualcomm.
Hmm.
But you mentioned comfort earlier. How critical is that focus we're seeing with devices like Big Screen Beyond or Megan X, making headsets way smaller and lighter?
Oh, it's paramount for enterprise.
Oh,
Absolutely critical. Think about it. More comfortable, high-fidelity headsets mean people can actually use them for longer. That leads to more effective training sessions without getting tired, better focus during collaborative work. It just broadens the applicability. If home can wear it for hours comfortably, the ROI for that VR solution goes way up because usage increases and so do the benefits.
all right, makes sense. More usage equals more value. Now, it's not just hardware. Robust software ecosystems are vital too. Apple kind of showed the problem with the limited app market when the Vision Pro launched, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of a stumble there initially.
So others are learning from that. Meta's expanding its Horizon ecosystem for developers. Google's building a whole new Android XR ecosystem, promising software kits, AI assistants, open source tools, all to speed up development. Looking deeper, how does this software evolution make VR easier for businesses to actually manage?
Well, the kind of hidden power here is adaptability. This evolution means VR becomes much more flexible for businesses. They can get tailored solutions, not just a one-size-fits-all approach. That's key for industries with really unique needs. It shifts VR from just a general tool to a specialized integrated business solution. And we're also seeing specific software emerge just for managing fleets of devices in an enterprise, like Pico's Business Device Manager. That makes it feasible for companies to actually deploy and manage VR at scale.
Okay, so better tools for specific jobs and easier management. Got it. Next point, expanding MR and AR capabilities within VR headsets. So headsets like the MetaQuest 3S or the Vision Pro, they have this pass-through capability. You can see your real surroundings overlaid with digital stuff.
Exactly. Mixed reality or augmented reality right inside the VR headset.
It seems super versatile. You can choose full immersion or blend the digital and physical. But for a business trying to decide what system to buy, what's the common mistake they make judging when they need full VR versus this mixed reality?
That's a great question. I think the most common mistake is assuming full immersion is always the better or more advanced option.